Hey guys, Erica Scosio here at Practical Biz Podcast, and it is 2023, and so we're really excited to talk about in person. If you're a business owner like me, you are really ready to reconnect with your employees, with the community, with other entrepreneurs, and I think, having an in-person event is the way to go for 2023. I'm over Zoom. I don't know about you, but it feels really good to get back in person. And so today we wanted to share some excellent tips on how you can take events and your business to the next level. So today we are joined with our guest, Hugo. Hugo is a small business owner, an entrepreneur, owns a dance studio, among many other businesses. He is a member of the Rhode Island Small Business Coalition. Not sure if I'm forgetting anything else. If I forget anything?
No, you got it.
Good. So we're here today at the Event Factory space, which is owned by Hugo. And we're going to talk a little bit about 10 ideas on types of business events that your small business can run, especially if you're in Rhode Island. We can connect you with Hugo. So Hugo, talk to us a little bit about the Event Factory here.
Sure, yeah. So it's actually my wife and I. We own and operate the businesses together. The Event Factory is a little spin-off to Talent Factory, right? So the Talent Factory traditionally is a performing arts center. We like to call it a performing arts center. We teach acting, dancing, and singing lessons there. And we also do that here. But here at the Event Factory, we focus a little bit more on actual events. We have a stage, a ballroom setting kind of space with a few breakout rooms, full liquor and food license. So we use this space to not only show people what the kids have learned, but also have private events, private functions, as well as functions that are open to the public. Comedians, psychics, corporate events, networking meetings, all of the above. So it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. So we want to help you today figure out what might be the best event for your business. So one of the things I think, especially with staff engagement and getting reconnected with your employees, would be to have a holiday party. And so not necessarily Christmas. It doesn't always have to be Christmas. It could be any time throughout the year. You could do a Mardi Gras party, a Valentine's party. We love our staff, our employees. So anything around the holiday space. Super Bowl's coming, right? Any type of theme that is really fun that you can engage your employees. You want to do it off-site to make it fun, exciting. It could be a half-day retreat. So that's one way that you can connect and re-engage your employees with you. Also networking events. So you guys have had a lot of networking events here.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. So what do you find the benefits that you see for your clients in terms of holding network events?
Oh boy. Well, if you're in business, you know that it's all about networking, especially in Rhode Island. It's the I know a guy state. Well, you got to get to know people.
Or a girl.
Yeah. You got to get to know people. So the networking events are always great. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know who can help your business, what other business you can help. So putting yourself in those settings, it's super important. And it's a lot of fun. We always create a very relaxed lounge kind of atmosphere for those.
You don't say.
Yeah, exactly. For those meetings, we create that super chill vibe. And it helps people open up and, talk and feel comfortable. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And I think too, getting out there, and that's actually how I found out about the space, was I came to a networking event. I think when you're networking with, and we talk a lot about that, networking with other small businesses is a great way to expand your brand, get that brand awareness out there so that people know about your business, what you have to offer. And then also, again, building that relationship with other small business owners, or in your case, it could be elected officials, it could be other advocate programs or groups or coalitions for your industry, so that you can build together some regulations, anything that you need to cut the red tape in your state. It's a great way to do that as well.
Absolutely. They're good listeners. I think a lot of times we think the elected officials don't listen, but they actually do.
Yeah.
Some implement, some don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to be around people that are making the decisions.
Yeah.
So it's
And
really important.
yeah, and you don't always have to wait for somebody to invite you to a networking event. Why can't you host one yourself? And then you can invite who you want to your event, and maybe you could look at people that are outside of who you normally connect with and bring them in, because that's a great way to double the exposure for your brand and your business and show you as an expert in that area.
Right.
So I think networking events in person, where again, no offense Zoom, but there's just not that same energy or impact that happens through a Zoom that will not happen in a an in-person event. Providing trainings for or how-to sessions for either your employees or even your clients. You can even do how to use your products, why your products make sense. Something in that how-to events, or providing trainings for people. The other thing too is bringing public speakers. So Rhode Island, because we're a very small state, we tend to have kind of the same people over and over. So it might be a great opportunity if there's a fantastic speaker for your business industry outside of the normal people, to reach out to them and have them come down to an event. And events are also not only a great way to network with people and get your brand out there, it also could be something that generates revenue for you.
Absolutely.
Right?
We have a guest speaker coming in March 2nd, which I can't say who it is, but someone really famous.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been announced yet by the organization that's bringing her in, but super exciting to have that kind of atmosphere come in.
Sure.
Like that vibe of people learning something new and being around someone that you never thought you would see.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm saving all my pennies to afford Gary V. He's my favorite. But yeah, if you can, whatever you can do to work up to get a guest speaker, a public speaker to come into your event, it gives a little bit more credibility to your event. And it also maybe piques people's interest to either, register for your event or even more pay for a ticket to come to the event. So that is another way to use an event to help build your business. Customer appreciation events. How often do businesses do that?
And employee appreciation, both sides of the spectrum, but I don't think we do it often enough.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to show your customers a good time, for them to see you with your hair down, and see that you're not just a business owner that's rushing around trying to make a living, but also that you're a personal person, personable person, somebody that they can hang out with, talk to, and I think customers will appreciate your products a little bit more if you're one of them.
I find like we do a lot of, as obviously as a daycare, we do a lot of different events at our school. We do graduations, we do, Mother's Day, breakfast with mom, donuts with dad. We do lots of different events like that, and they're always well received. And our customers love going to them. I mean, again, who would love spending a little extra time with your little one? But they are ways that we have built our brand as a very engaging school. So even if you do your events in-house, you could do in-house, outside of your location. I say for your employees, definitely outside of your location makes it a little extra special. Right. They go to work every day. There's nothing special about pizza in the boardroom.
Absolutely.
Right?
You're absolutely
But taking them off site is just that extra level of, we really care about you and we really want you to feel that love. So also, if you have a pop-up, you want to do a pop-up event, maybe you typically sell on e-commerce, and you want people to be able to see your products in person, it might make sense to work with other vendors who sell similar products, or to maybe not similar products, but to the same customer target audience. Pop-up events are really great to do in person. And again, you don't always have to wait for someone to host one. You can host your own. And then an event within an event, live streaming. So if you are having a awesome public speaker come to your event, live stream that. If somebody can't, get to the event or lives on the other side of the country, it's a wonderful way to get your brand to really expand outside your zip code.
Super important. We, coming from the COVID shutdowns and opening a space like this, that's something that we focused on because a lot of people were staying home. A lot of people were still afraid to go out into a crowd. So we did install cameras throughout the space with live stream capabilities. So you'll see around the space, we have these PTZ cameras that we control.
I didn't know
And yeah, and we can live stream anything.
Oh, that's
Yep.
very exciting.
Yeah.
We will be using that option.
Yeah, right.
And I would say maybe the last of the 11 is VIP events. I think that we all have customers, but I think we all have some that might be just a little more. And it could be VIP, not necessarily for the dollar amount that they spend with you, but maybe the amount of engagement they do with you in person or on social media, or they constantly are bringing you referrals and leads.
A supporter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know who they are, guys.
Right.
You know who those 10 to 20 core folks are that are constantly promoting your brand. I know who mine are.
Oh, I know who
You
mine
are.
are. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, you are the professional in event planning. So, could you please maybe talk to us a little bit about what people need to look for when they're looking for an event space?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot. And it all also depends on what your event is,
Okay.
what your needs are. But always the questions about, food minimums. That's a big topic. If you're going to a hotel or a convention center, a lot of these places charge a food minimum. And you might see a venue and they tell you, oh, the space rental's, $500, $200.
Yeah.
But you're hit with a $65 a head food minimum and you're doing 140 people. And before you know it, you're up to $10,000, $11,000, $12,000.
Yeah.
So it's something to always ask the questions. What am I obligated to spend here? The food minimums, if there's a bar minimum, whatever the case is, get it all black and white. Always know that. Apart from that, audio video. Audio video is a big one. Most ballrooms, hotels, convention centers don't have the capabilities to hand you a microphone, and have a PA system.
And not a good one. A lot of times, too, if they do,
Right.
it's not great. It's certainly not to the level of here.
Right.
Not
Right.
even close.
Yeah, so that's kind of where my background was. I grew up in a radio station. My father was a program director, and he also produced, shows and brought in artists and did concerts. So it's funny because my wife was in the front of the stage. She was more of a dancer, performer, teacher, where I was, as a kid, backstage watching the guy plug in the microphones, run the lighting system.
Yep.
So that's something I was always interested in. So here, when we built this place, I had a lot of fun focusing on that.
Yeah. I can tell.
Yeah, and we've rented a lot of spaces for the Talent Factory. We've done a lot of shows. So when I walk into a space and I say, oh, can we have, the moving lights to do a spotlight in the middle for this soloist that's in this dance? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
You can, but you have to bring someone else to do that.
Right. And it was about, and I think it's about creating memorable events. It's not about just having an event. It's about what makes it memorable. It's all those
People aren't talking about it.
Yes, all those special little touches that invoke the feelings and emotion, right? You have, like you said, a soloist dancing in the middle of a stage. That music and that light draws you in to that experience, right?
The lighting is part of the performance.
Yes.
100%. And when you see anything on stage, if you watch a Netflix special of a comedian, I'm looking at the background.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the cool light fixtures that they hung from the ceiling, or the chandeliers, or the drapes. I'm looking at that like, wow, somebody had that vision, and it enhances the performance.
Yeah.
No matter what the performance is, the audio and the visuals enhance that.
Well, I can tell you, like, I do public speaking, and I also do lots of strategic planning meetings. And as a presenter, there is nothing more stressful or aggravating when your audio equipment doesn't work.
Oh boy.
Well, because again, it's the same thing. We're up there, we're performing, we're pulling you into what it is we're talking about. And so when that doesn't work, that really, although you try to keep your cool, it really does mess up your mind and where your head's at. You're always worrying about that. So
I'll tell you a quick story about that one. We rented a beautiful venue in Providence, probably one of the best venues in the state for sure. And we filmed this video that we were premiering there. Video goes on, no audio. Right? This was the highlight of the event.
Yes.
Was this beautiful video we filmed.
Yeah.
No audio. And man, it was, you can't stop the show. Show must go on. Very stressful. It was a very stressful moment for us.
Yeah.
So I know.
That actually happened to us at a dance competition for our dance studio. They had, luckily, it was a singing performance. It was Glee, and the audio didn't work. And the kids just continued to go. They just sang it. They continued to go with it. But
The crowd goes wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
That's true. They really showed themselves as professionals.
Yeah, especially working with kids. People support it. They know things happen,
Yeah. But you don't want it to happen at your event.
No.
So you want to make sure that if they don't provide high quality audio, lighting, etc., that you find a place that does, or know that you're going to have an additional expense to bring that in.
Yeah.
Right.
And hire a company that cares.
Yeah.
Hire a company that's not just you're writing them a check to do a service. Make sure that they are capable of doing that service.
Correct. Let's talk about pricing. What should people look for there?
Again, the minimums, definitely super important. There are always surprise fees when you're working with convention centers, ballrooms, hotels.
Tablecloths, the tablecloths, the
exactly.
dividers in between the booths.
Yeah, chairs, tables.
Piping and linen. That's it, right?
Yeah, pipe and drape.
Piping and drape. Yeah. So those are always, I have found, always ended up being
it adds
extra
to the bill.
fees.
Yeah, it adds to the bill. That's one thing that we have tried to really focus on or be cautious of, I should say. I don't like that. I don't like do you want to use this couch? It's a
extra $10.
Extra $10. I'm not into that. To me, honestly, it makes our job more difficult. The nitpicking of every single thing. 5 tablecloths, or did you need 6? Or somebody spilled something, we used the 7th one.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I
crazy.
I think the other thing too that's interesting to add is when you have a great space where they know what they're doing, like you don't have to have that middleman, because we had talked about that before.
Right.
You don't need to hire an event planner. Not that there's anything wrong with event planners, but when you work with a space that does nothing but events, it has everything in-house and does so many, they really become professionals at what they do. You don't really need that additional expense in many cases.
Yeah, we open the space because we plan events.
Yeah.
We've worked with event planners that have been great. They also many times bring a vision that we didn't see.
Sure.
And we always call this place a blank slate.
Sure.
It's always a different look for every event. So,
but it's something you have to, from a business standpoint, it's something that you have to build into your budget.
Right.
If you're going to go that route. So
correct.
Most of our folks here are entrepreneurs who've been 10 years or less.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just getting started, that may not be in the budget, but I don't want it to discourage you from holding your own event. And again, that's why I bring up, you can sell vendor space, you can sell tickets, you can get sponsors. So there's lots of different ways to generate revenue.
And pick a space that has a look already. Sometimes if you don't have it in your budget to add, pipe and drape and linens and flowers or whatever, decor you might need, maybe look for a space that has some of it, that when you walk in, you're already like, wow, this is beautiful. It doesn't need much.
Correct.
And Rhode Island has quite a few, especially with the historical places. There are a lot of venues that you walk in and you're just blown away.
Yeah.
Restaurants. There's a lot.
So can you talk about security? So what do you need for security, assistance with parking, those types of things?
Yeah. We always treat everything a case-by-case basis. It's a crafted event space. So depending on what you need, we have events that may have 30 people in it, a corporate meeting. But parking for that, super easy. Security, not necessary, but you never know. You might have a party that brings in 200 people, and you might just, for the host's sake and the venue's sake, you might say, let's bring in security, and people, I think, always have the misconception that security is in case something bad happens, but it's not. Security is in case you need to feel secure about something. Say somebody, God forbid somebody has a cardiac arrest, and you need somebody to perform CPR. Make sure that security is certified in that. Somebody in the building should have that certification.
Yep.
So that's what security means to us, is to make sure that everybody's in a safe place for any needs. Anything someone might need, you have to be able to provide that safety. Parking, that's important. You might rent a venue that has no parking. And if you're, dealing with a city, a downtown area, parking is very limited and valuable. Part of the reason we took our space to Warwick, we were looking in Providence when we decided to take on this venture. We were looking at a place on Westminster Street, beautiful, beautiful space. But again, parking, very limited.
Yeah. And making sure it's lit too.
Making sure it's lit.
Yeah.
Yes. A lit
Especially if it's
parking lot.
a night event.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we're fortunate. We have a huge parking lot. We have a little over 90 spaces outside. Plus, it's a very secluded area. There are no residents around us. Yeah. So street parking is an option. There are local businesses around here who don't mind. So the parking is really nice here.
Okay.
So we're lucky for that one.
So before we wrap up, do you have any do's or don'ts when it comes to renting event space?
Do's and don'ts when renting event space. Know what they offer and make sure that they have what you need, and let them be the one to help you get what you need, if you need the help. For example, sometimes we have events where people might want to bring in alcohol, and obviously you can't. That's something that's really, it's a law, basically. So we have to make sure that people understand that. What else? Do's and don'ts. I don't know. I feel like we always make anything happen. There's no request. Just make the request. If there's something you have in mind, ask. Odds are there's somebody that works in that facility that can make it happen.
On that note, I have a request. So if you like the content of this video, we ask that you like, subscribe, or comment.
Beautiful.
That's my request. So we have a really cool announcement that we're going to make live today on this show. So we are launching our very first business conference from Stella Business Concepts on September 21st, which is a Thursday. We are launching the 2023 Rhode Island Small Business Summit. We will have guest speakers. We will have an expo area. We will have a networking opportunity and amazing, folks that are going to come out and network with you, learn about your business, and learn about their business, and some of the best speakers available in this area. So you heard it here first. We're going to show you some pictures at the end of the show of the event space, and we're going to be holding our conference. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So thank you for tuning in, and welcome to the Event Factory. So Hugo, thank you so much for being part of Practical Biz Podcast. We're so happy to have you on as a guest. I can't wait to work with you on our collaboration for our event. So tell the listening audience there, if you're from Rhode Island, Mass, Connecticut, New England, and you want a great event space, how they get a hold of you.
Reach us on the website at theeventfactoryri.com. We're on Instagram. We're on social media, Facebook. And however you want to reach out to us, and we will get back to you right away. Check out our list of events when you're on our social media, on our website. We have some great events. We have John Parada coming in with his comedians, doing his show in April. We have Doreen Collins coming in March. We have an amazing psychic coming in. Her information's on our website. She blew my mind when she came in for a tour. It was amazing. So I'm looking forward to that one. That's actually happening at the end of this month in February, and a lot more. There's too many to list. We've been very fortunate to book some great events.
So just check your website out.
Yes.
Check your website out. And then we'll be on there too. all my friends out there in Practical Biz Land will be on there too. Again, save the date, September 21st. See you soon. Bye. Are you a business owner? Are ready to get your startup? Well, started. Have a burning question you'd like us to answer? Want to know more about the services we offer? Or register for upcoming workshops and events? Looking to book a guest speaker? Or like to be a guest on the Practical Biz podcast? Visit our website at stellabusinessconcepts.com.